Why do kids need to know about a Muppet with AIDS? For that alone cancel the shit. And how was the Muppet infected? Getting his ass railed at Democrat elite parties or shooting up heroin into his veins using dirty needles? Perhaps male prostitution? Gross to even think about that. Ellen probably has AIDS too, though he is South African.
48 minutes of dogs barking. 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 Growl. Growl. 48 minutes of dogs barking. 48 minutes of dogs barking.
Shit's going crazy. My boner going crazy in this bitch.
My boner's going freaking them out.
I'm so gay for your pussy.
Frieza. Yeah, we're just having fun. We're just two wild guys on a Sunday night.
Yeah.
Below ground.
Technically, yes.
Technically below ground. About to talk about the internet.
Yes, we are. One of the first things that I saw this week was that the banks were out of money. Bryan, did you know this?
Yeah. Fuck who ate all the pussy. Where is all the money?
That's right. Know Your Meme got in on this, which is how you know that something has officially breached containment. And they explain in this article what a bank run is. I think we're good on that. I really feel like I got to tell people what a bank run is. There it is. February 2nd of this year at Mr. Grace Mugabe. Breaking, Trump just signed an executive order stating that the banks are out of money. There's not much left. There's very little, the president said. March 10th at Richard_normal.
At this point, it's marginal, right?
I have just received news that the banks are out of money. Hashtag the banks are out of money. And then once the tariffs hit the other day, April 2nd, same guy tweeted, "We like to joke around on here, but you do actually need to pull all your money out of the bank right now. Hashtag the banks are out of money." Got himself 7,000 likes in about 2 days. At Radish Harmers on Twitter. I don't know why people saying there's no money left in the banks are out of money, etc. I just checked my bank account, and a good 60 or 70% of the money is still there.
Sardar is a pro follow over at
absolutely.
Radish Harmers.
Coach Lou at Coach Lou Grizz. This is at my bank outside Chicago, and there's Lake Forest Bank and Trust, big sign on the door. Bank closed. We ran out of money. Everybody's getting in on this now. At Tech Tweeting Max just tried to withdraw $100 from the bank. The teller said, "How about $20? Would that be enough for today?" Hashtag the banks are out of money. Now, a financial crisis / ruin normally isn't funny, but this is 2025, bitch. Take your sensitive ass back to 2016. We clowning this motherfucker.
Yeah, take it back to fucking 2008.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
Take that shit back to Enron.
Ken lay ass motherfucker.
Ken lay ass motherfucker. Oh, did you just discover Zizek? You sensitive ass bitch.
Because of Twitter being weird, I've started to find just the dumbest shit I could possibly find on there. There's some really goofy shit about the Minecraft movie, which I was like, you know what, I can give or take that. Here, let me just get your reaction to this. There's a long, unfinished version of the Minecraft movie with placeholder CG in it. So here's 20 seconds from that. Oh, God.
I have no desire to see this movie.
I'm going next week.
It looks so,
I know. It looks
like
bad.
Uwe Boll would not make a movie. He'd have more respect for cinema than this.
Which is saying something for sure. Yeah.
Hey, you know what? That opening joke from the Postal movie.
Still better than most of, yeah.
Yeah, it's still better than most of the shit that Jack Black's been in.
Yeah, because then they're getting into an argument about how many virgins there is, and then they have to call their imam, and then and then they're like, you know what, fuck this, we're turning around, but it's too late. It's just, it is dark and cynical and fucked up, and it's like, yeah, actually that kind of slaps. The rest of the movie couldn't give a shit about, but that opening joke is like... but yes, he could handle this with more tenderness and grace, which is what is really fucking shocking. It's Minecraft, folks. It's the dumbest shit you could possibly imagine. We're going to see Jason Momoa in probably the worst wig I've seen in a movie since, I don't know, maybe Friday the 13th Part 3. And just some real dog shit work there.
Fucking overwarmed. Not even overcooked, overwarmed dog shit.
Oh, yeah, because it's not cooked. It's already shit. There's nothing you can do to it.
It's already doo-doo. Folks, it's bad.
And my son is so hyped to see it, so we're going to go next weekend to the drive-in.
Oh, I know. I got a few family members I know their kids are going ape shit.
Mm-hmm.
Mommy, need the fat fuck Steve.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. They love him. Yeah, the guy who's got, like, my body proportions is an action figure now. Fucking amazing. I love it. I'd love to see a fat fucker win. That's all I'm saying.
I remember someone on Twitter, like, being at Target or something and being like, I want to buy this as a bit, but it's $40.
Yeah. 2 different posts on Twitter this week were of people completely losing their shit and not realizing it. Like, they're just posting fucking anything these days. I think people are just losing their fucking minds. These are the 2 examples I thought of. So let me read you this one. Lucas Gage, USMC war vet, author, activist, right? Uh-huh. He posts a picture of a blonde woman and a young black man. To be honest, he says, I've never seen my wife happier. I'm glad the Jews took her from me. She deserves better.
What an interesting thing to say.
What an odd thing to say. And he says this and then posts immediately afterwards a t-shirt design that he made and the Fed.
Oh, boy.
Since I got all you black folks' attention, he responds, check out this fire shirt. Resist the Jews. And it's Malcolm X with a gun looking out a window. It says resist.
The classic photo.
Yeah. Y'all racist. And then someone, of course, put it through the Studio Ghibli filter, to which he then, cry laughing, responds. And, I'm so glad the Jews took her from me. All right, man. Certainly looks like a young African-American man, not a...
Yeah, there's... This tweet brings up so many questions that I don't even know to ask. I don't even know where to begin.
Yeah.
I'm not even sure if he even knows the answer if I were to ask the right questions.
So I have a theory, is that it's bait. It's the guy posting his cuckold fantasy on Reddit and saying, what should I do? Or am I the asshole? To get people riled up and then be like, check out my t-shirts about resisting the Jews.
Ah.
But it's bird brain behavior either way, I think. But
you can see that.
People on here responding to him, just watch cuck porn, just get this out of your system. Yeah. A bit of bait posted here. Hashtag come home, black man. Aren't you black folks tired of racist hashtag white culture yet? Come to your home, Israel, and the life of your dreams and opportunities just awaits. Your real land needs you. Diversity is our second name. We need you. Jews plus Africans equals perfect match.
Huh.
That is incredible bait.
I thought it was Jews and Indians, but I guess I've just been misunderstanding something.
Diversity is our strength. Open borders for Israel. Jewish women and black men. It's just very strange. Racist dog whistles, but also wrapped up in some cuck shit.
It's really Elon Musk's Twitter, everyone.
It would be funny.
It used to be the guys were too embarrassed to post like that.
Mm-hmm.
They acted a little better.
And now they make money off it.
Yeah, the whole money incentive, getting paid for bad tweets.
Leaves a bad taste in my mouth.
Yeah.
So, another weird interaction that happened on the old bird site. At Emma Murabito. Her bio is, your favorite Italian-American manic pixie dream girl, the Italian flag, spaghetti emoji. So, love that. Mm-hmm. Her post was, Happy Transgender Day of Visibility. Trans rights are human rights. Trans women are women. Trans men are men. Non-binary gender identities are valid. Protect trans youth. Respect people's pronouns. Transphobia is a disease. If you're trans, I accept you for who you truly are. Heart emoji. And Norm AI artist responded, to celebrate visibility, I generated you in Ghibli style. Trans flag, pen, or someone drawing, DM for watermark free version. It does appear that he simply took the Studio Ghibli filter and applied it to Emma's profile picture of a young woman, bob haircut, t-shirt says, "I paused my game to be here," with a baby bottle for some weird reason, but that's between her and God. She responds, "I appreciate the thought, but AI art is really harmful to the environment at this moment in time, and corporations are using it to replace the hard work of artists right now." Broken heart emoji. Norm responds, "Since you are AI phobic, I generated you pregnant. Do not mess with AI artists."
Oh, okay.
All right. What the fuck, man?
Yeah, dude. What's up?
Just really psycho behavior. Here's Emma responding. "The only time you're going to make a girl get pregnant, buddy." Thumbs up. In the wise words of Luxnor London, "Gag them a bit for sure." People responding, "Don't mess with AI artists like this is a threat. You are literally talentless. AI in AI artist must mean asshole incel. Scratch an art thief, get a misogynist, etc., etc." But it stunned me when I first saw
Scratch an art thief and get him a massage.
Yeah, it was a bit of
We're updating it.
a bit of a stretch, but all right. But yeah, just since you're AI phobic, I generated you pregnant. It baffles me the leap in logic he had to take to get there. That's where I'm just fumbling around, like, how, what, what?
Well, really, what he should have done is also made her Asian and or black and Chinese.
Well, he's still got time, I guess, is what the oh boy.
Fumbled the bag there.
He really messed up. Yeah, since you're AI phobic, I generated you pregnant. Well, I guess it's better than interacting with me in real life, you freaking weirdo.
It's almost like AI is bad and makes people like weird and alienated.
No, could not possibly be that. Could it?
I don't know.
Oh, Bryan.
This next thing. Oh wait, no, we're saving that for later.
Mm-hmm. We'll talk about that later. If you want to know what that is, oh boy, you got to sign up for the Patreon. Patreon.com/48minutesdogs.
Right there, tiny disappearing Jay Leno.
He's
Boy,
back.
There's the crypto scam of the week, folks.
You're listening to 48 Minutes of Dogs Barking, the podcast.
And now it's time for the crypto scam of the week.
We're first using a piece from Cointelegraph here, and the ticker's not looking good.
Everything's red, folks. 13% down. Let's see. Yeah, AVAX. Oh boy, BNB down 6. Almost
Bitcoin
7.
is below 80K. Ethereum is just getting its ass beat.
Solana down 15% as of this. Oh yeah, let's wait for Doge. Down 14.36%. Not good, folks.
I thought the deals president was going to do better with his tariffs, which some people are even suspecting they might be generated by ChatGPT.
It's entirely possible. And I've looked at some of the research and went, wow, this does look kind of weird.
Yeah, everything's just eating shit. And if you really want to look at the health of the crypto markets, everything keeps going up and up and up from the election. And then around January 20th, everything starts to crater because he has bad economic policies.
And when you're playing with your Bitcoins or whatever. Well, speaking of playing with your Bitcoins, yes, Crypto Scam of the Week is here. This one's a fun one because we get a little bit of schadenfreude as a scammer themselves gets scammed. Actually, a hacker, in this case, got themselves scammed. This here, according to Cointelegraph, Stephen Kate writing, the ZK Lend hacker claims losing stolen ETH to Tornado Cash Phishing site. So apparently the gentleman behind the $9.6 million exploit of the money lending protocol ZK Lend claims they've fallen victim to a phishing website impersonating Tornado Cash, resulting in the loss of a significant portion of the stolen funds. I believe it was 5.6 mil of the 9.6 mil. Just gone, folks. He sent 100 Ether at a time to an address named tornado.cash, but that was a phishing website posing as a front end, and it gone, baby. All the 2,930 ETH have been taken by that site owners. I do not have coins. Please redirect your efforts towards those site owners to see if you can recover some of the money. ZKLend responded to the message by asking the hacker to, quote, return all the funds left in your wallets to the ZKLend wallet address. However, according to Etherscan, another 25 Ether was then sent to a wallet listed as Chainflip1. Earlier, another user warned the exploiter about the error, telling them don't celebrate because all the funds were being sent to a scam URL. It's so devastating. Everything gone with one wrong website, the hacker replied. Well, I don't know, man. Feels like you kind of got what you deserved on that one. You stole 9.6 million, or I'm sorry, exploited
9.6 million. Yeah, like it's like flash loans, man. Old school. That's what people were doing 3 or 4 years ago.
And then ZKLend even said, take 10% as a bounty. No questions asked. And the guy said no. And now he lost more than half. So maybe you should have taken that 10% deal and just called it a day, huh? Anyway.
That's, yeah, I feel like next time we record, we're going to have something even more absurd.
Is something on the horizon? Something brewing?
I mean, all the markets are crashing.
Oh, well, yeah, sure.
There is a high chance that tomorrow when the markets open, because we're recording on Sunday here.
Oh, yeah, it's going to be another Black Monday.
Black Swan event like we had during COVID. March of 2020. I'm not seeing the silver lining.
Not looking good.
A lot of things socially, economically, politically right now are going to get worse before they get better. I think that's pretty much it.
So I've been trying to, funny ha-has on the funny ha-ha site. So let's do some funny ha-has. Let's have a laugh, shall we? Because
Sure.
I don't know if I can handle any more dire news. So our main topic this week is an old video game from 2010, Moonbase Alpha. The game itself, not much to write home about. It was developed by NASA's Learning Technologies and Army Game Studio. If you remember America's Army? Mm-hmm. Basically a game about, hey, join the Army because it rules. Well, NASA worked with them to make a video game about life in space, but it's really mostly about repairing damaged equipment. It's very strange. It's in Unreal Engine 3, because that was the style at the time. Mm-hmm. So it's set in the year 2025. This is according to the Wikipedia page. As a meteor impact damages an outpost near the moon's south pole, the player must take control of members of the outpost's research team and repair the outpost to save the personnel on board before they asphyxiate within 25 minutes. These tasks include repairing vital components to the life support system, solar panel array, and oxygen units, and can be accomplished with a wide variety of tools from robotic repair units to the lunar rover. And so it's kind of weird. It's like, this is not really a game about what it's actually like to go to space. This is like repair stuff simulator.
Yeah, it's like Power Wash Simulator, but for the moon.
And you're on a timer,
yeah,
which makes things even harder. The one thing I always remember about it is that when Among Us came out, people were like, Moonbase Alpha much? It's like, yeah, I guess, but there's also somebody running around killing people, so it's not quite the same.
Man, remember when Among Us was
a bogus
everywhere?
A bogus.
The fact that there isn't an Among Us game at like Dave & Buster's is a little weird to me.
I think only because they couldn't figure out how to like monetize it properly. Same with the fact that there's no like Five Nights at Freddy's game at Dave & Buster's. Because I'm sure if they thought they could, they would. Among Us Pinball something.
There's a fucking Flappy Bird game.
Is there?
Yeah. Last time I was at Dave & Buster's, they have fucking... I took a photo of it because I was like, you gotta be shitting me.
Yeah, I thought that guy like shut the game down and all that.
I don't know.
Mm-hmm. Well, apparently Moonbase Alpha was supposed to be the prequel to an MMO that NASA was coming out with called Astronaut, Moon, Mars, and Beyond that never came out, apparently. What set this game apart in the 2010s was not necessarily the fact that you played online with friends and did this collaborative thing. No, it was the inclusion of an ancient text-to-speech program called DEC Talk. If anyone knows what that means, you already know where I'm going with this. So DEC Talk was a text-to-speech synthesizer and technology from 1983. The folks at MIT developed this. It was the same text-to-speech that Stephen Hawking used. Mm-hmm. Kept showing up in things like the Weather Service, Or in popular culture, the 6th episode from Tales of the Dark Side, the experimental rock band The Space Negroes. Why was this included in Wikipedia? This Moonbase Alpha is in the Wikipedia entry under DEC Talk because it is fantastic. And I think probably the only reason to still play Moonbase Alpha, which you can do, it is on Steam still. An article from last year on Jalopnik from Amber De Silva writing here, Moonbase Alpha's chat function, still funny after 14 years. And it says, just 2 weeks after its launch, Moonbase Alpha was famous for a different reason. The Microsoft Sam-sounding voice that read out your chat messages. A compilation of the voice saying chat messages like, AIEOU, brr, 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 and John Madden, John Madden, John Madden, was published 14 years ago today, back when YouTube was still good. The compilation titled Moonbase Alpha provides a realistic simulation of life on a natural satellite. It has been seen 12 million times, but some folks appear to have missed it, so for its anniversary, it's time for another rewatch. Here it is.
Holla holla get dollar. Ha ha ha. John Madden, John Madden, John Madden, John Madden. AIEOU, John Madden. John Madden. John Madden football. Here comes another Chinese earthquake. AIEOU.
Here comes another Chinese earthquake.
Yeah. And these videos were everywhere, but that one is probably still the masterpiece. Of course, the Super Mario Brothers 2 music helps make it. It's just wonderful stuff. The original has, let's see here, 12 million views 14 years ago. And the only
AIOU.
AEIOU. That's how they make the DEC talk go. AIEOU. AIEOU. And then the constant John Madden, John Madden, John Madden. I love John Madden. I love the singing. So the thing with DEC talk is if you knew how to input certain expressions, you could change the pitch, frequency, and duration of a given piece of speech. So then they figured out how to make the text-to-speech sing. So here's 11 years ago, SZEPIZ, I don't know how you would say that, Moonbase Alpha - fun with text speech, smiling emoji. Here's some folks having fun on a natural satellite.
What does a penis feel like in your butt? Come over, come over, come over, come over, come over and fix this bitch. Spooky, scary skeletons. Send shivers down your spine. This fucking scary smoke face. Shrieking crows will shock your soul. Seal your doom tonight every day. Lol. What the fuck was that? Come over, come over, come over, come over, come over, come over and listen to me sing about John Madden. Oh god. My nigga.
Making it sing. Making it say the
John
N-word.
Madden.
And making it say the N-word really bad. And this is the kind of benevolent trolling, I think, that is missing. We don't have enough weird shit where you can just go on and type John Madden 5 times and just have fun with it. Because I'm sure there are people out there who really take simulation games like that seriously. And yeah, you're probably annoying them. Mm-hmm. But you're not harming them in any way. Just like Team Roomba. We talked about, a lot of their stuff wasn't really necessarily harmful. It was just like, hey, check this out. Like, hey, I'm going to be weird for a minute. I mean, okay, trapping your team in Spawn is kind of harmful because, like, oh, my KD.
Building turrets under the map. Sure.
I don't care what you say. That's still fun.
I remember doing that. I remember being on both ends of that.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Who doesn't love to take a game and make it bizarre in a way that was not intended by its programmers?
Oh, absolutely. There's even a handbook on Steam about how to do some of these things, and I love looking at this. In the Steam Community Guide, the ultimate, all the moon tunes you need, so you can just straight up copy-paste into the chat.
All the moon tunes. Amazing.
So, yeah, Dance Party is one of the cheats. It makes characters dance. allows users to fly. So you can summon in items. It's a lot of fun. How to do the Imperial March.
Amazing.
2001 Space Odyssey. Take me out to the ball game. The John Madden choir. Oh, boy. How to put Party Rock in the game. See, now I want to get that. Yeah.
Well, copy that.
Yeah.
Copy that, because if you...
Let's hear what it sounds like, because I had this bookmarked earlier.
Party Rock is in the house tonight. Everybody just have a good time, and we can make you lose your mind. Everybody just have a good time. We just wanna see a
amazing.
Just truly
phenomenal.
Truly amazing. And yes, that is a website where you can do your own. I will post that in the show notes. There is also a project similar to it on GitHub. So yeah, have yourself some fun. Get out there and be weird. I really do want text-to-speech coming back in gaming. Like, imagine the fun that a Marvel Rivals round would be if the guy who's like on Spider-Man just keeps spamming, you know.
Web.
Web.
Web. Mary Jane. Mary Jane, Bonesaw.
Bonesaw is ready. Yeah. It's just the fun kind of trolling. The ones that doesn't hurt anybody.
Why you throw chip?
Christ, that unlocked something. Yeah, we'll have to go. I have to look further into that. But yeah, Moonbase Alpha. It's available on Steam. You can play it yourself and grab that guide and just spam
Go
away.
hog fucking wild.
Have fun. Something to do. Something to
The
pass
Dow
time.
Jones fell 1,000 points today.
Here comes another Chinese earthquake.
Here comes another. I think the Still Earth movement might be onto something.
Okay. What's that?
That the Earth is still.
Oh.
The rocks. Either the Earth is rocks or
Earth is just rocks.
or it's not a living animal.
Yeah, okay. And I was like, is that like pipe rock? Or do we need to go?
Making a reference to last evening.
Oh, shit. Yeah, I forgot about the Still Earth movement. That, of all the funny shit that was in that didn't register. Everything else was... We'll get to that in a minute. But first, something nasty. That's right. Shock.jpg time.
And now, the moment you've all been waiting for.
Shock.jpg.
Oh.
The description you gave to this one was concerning.
That is the direct translation of the Russian in the title. So, from our good friends over at Chaotic, this video is, for some reason, has Rivalry Winter Blast as a
Is a watermark?
it's plastered on there, but yeah. And it's a guy with a milk pump on his dick. That's it. He's standing there in the full, get up like he's just been milking the cows himself, but then he's got his
hog.
He's got his hog with something around his balls, and the dick's going right in the milking machine, but he doesn't appear to be enjoying it at all. He's just kind of like, yeah, this is a thing that happens, I guess.
It's a living.
Yeah, well, it's another Tuesday, I got shit to do. Let me just bust this one out real quick.
Yeah, just... it's going to get pasteurized anyways.
Right. It don't matter. Yeah, it's fine.
Don't matter.
Yeah, I mean, it was just uploaded a couple days ago. Actually, yesterday. It's fresh. As fresh as it comes.
It's farm fresh, folks. Yeah, he just looks like he's doing his duty.
Yeah, hands behind his back, just kind of... And again, I don't know...
As a cock ring.
Yeah, no, I know. I understand that was around the balls. There's a little bit of the head back. Okay, maybe he is digging this a bit.
Yeah,
a little bit.
It's just a thing to do.
All right, man.
You do you, brother.
Sure.
I'm just gonna be over here, not doing that.
Mm-hmm.
Preferably.
Yeah, I'm sorry. I'm not sticking mine anywhere near any kind of equipment like that because I know how dirty cows are.
They're pretty gross. I mean, not that cows are awful or anything, but they're
just gross animals.
They're beasts of burden.
They're
cows
doo-doo. They got
big
doo-doo.
dogs.
Yeah. They're dogs you can eat. Yes.
Well, listen, there are lots of cultures in this world that would say that dogs are also dogs that you can eat. Maybe cows are not so much.
That's a fair point. There's a joke in there. Oh, it was the Mr. Show sketch about the milking machine. There is an entire long sketch that culminates in a musical that has Jack Black in it.
Amazing.
I don't know if you ever seen. You know that. That's a.
I'm fairly certain I've seen it. Yeah.
Yeah, Joke the Musical. That's right, from season 2.
Now, this all reminds me of a humorous story of the traveling salesman. Let's say that the taxpayer is a farmer and the government is a salesman. Well, the farmer says you can spend the night in my barn, but do me a favor, don't stick your willy into any of the 3 holes in the wall. Well, in this case, the salesman's willy represents the taxpayer's money, you understand. Well, the government, like the salesman, can't help himself. Sticks his willy in the first hole, it feels good. Sticks his willy in the second hole, it feels even better. Sticks his willy in the third hole, and it hurts like hell, and it won't let go. Well, in the morning, the farmer comes out and he explains. Behind the first hole was my wife. Behind the second hole was my daughter. And behind the third hole was a milking machine that don't let go till it gets 50 gallons. Gentlemen, I propose that this arch funding is like a milking machine, and unless we shut it down, it's going to rip our dicks right off.
That was my first thought on seeing that. This is going to rip our dicks right off. Like, he's just standing there just like...
John Madden.
Well, that about does it for that.
Quick read with lots of thrills, as they used to say on the internet.
TLDR guy didn't get his dick ripped off by a milking machine, much to my surprise.
I'm here for my 50 gallons.
The ultimate gooning performance, all in one package. Yes, it's the breath mint time.
It's time for your mom's favorite part of the show. It's time for the breath mint.
Where do you want to start? Because there's a couple things that we both have in common, not the least of which was last night.
Let's talk about last night.
Fatal bus accident. One of the best comedy shows in America right now. And I say that not having seen a lot of the other comedy shows, but just based on the amount of laughing I did. Oh, I busted a gut.
Some of the hardest the best laughing, the most laughing I've ever done in my life has been at a failed bus accident show.
You've been to more than I have, I'm thinking. But,
probably, yeah.
But boy, it is never not a good time to see former guest of the show, Striker Spurlock, Jeremy and Amy and John, Benigoni, yeah, sorry. Jonathan Vermicelli.
Vermagina.
Vagigoni, whatever. Yeah. He's also a very good sport about me butchering his last name, which I have done.
Also a hell of a person, just a real sweetheart.
But on stage, fierce comedian, very funny, all of them. Just brutal laughs coming out of me every couple seconds. The setup for this one was that they're doing a show, but then their guest dies in the green room because of a soup pipe burst.
Soup pipe burst, and also that there was an electrical issue in the green room.
So electrified soup killed this woman. And so they're spending the rest of the show trying to do a seance to deal with their late DoorDash order. 20-car pileup then kills the DoorDash driver. 200-car pileup, sorry.
Yes, kills the DoorDash driver. The seance didn't bring her back to life, but instead brought the DoorDash driver back. Delivery do.
Yeah, that's right. Delivery do. That's right.
Who was local comedian Casey Paulson, and he did a nice 5 or 10 minutes.
Oh, yeah, he was great, too.
Yeah, he was fucking funny. It was good. I could feel that they were kicking off a little bit of rust, because it had been about 6 or 7 years.
Yeah, they've done a full show. Now, we saw them as part of a showcase kind of thing where they did maybe a sketch, you know.
It was great, but it was only 20 minutes, and it was a great concept. And I think for me, what I appreciate is just like the amount of jokes they pack into everything, and their ability to switch from one premise to the other pretty seamlessly. Like, it all flows rather naturally, and you realize, okay, well, now this is working on this premise, which is very different than what we were doing 5 minutes ago.
Oh, yeah. Jumping seamlessly from concept to concept.
And some might even say that Failed Bus Accident was one of the first groups or one of the first entities to really get a handle on what's called PowerPoint humor.
They definitely use a lot of presentation things in their comedy, and boy, the timing was so perfect, and it was seamless. You really couldn't, even if you were looking really, really hard, you could not tell who was operating it or what, you know, or if it was like timed out to the minute.
Yeah.
They had it going. It was great.
It was good. And I think the one that killed me was talking about a children's like industry magazine. And one of the headlines on this fake cover was, "It happened to me. I shook the class pet so hard I gave it a heart attack."
The class rabbit.
The class rabbit. Oh God, I just fixated on that one. I'm like, that is so good
and so specific, and it
so
feels like
specific.
It's like maybe there was a thing. Maybe it wasn't what I
yeah, and the other ones were good too, but that one was just like, I'm never gonna forget that.
Setup after setup, premise after premise, joke after joke, and they had all the props. And I mean, I think all the props wound up under our seats where we were sitting.
A wallet,
yeah, the wallet with the picture in there that is the wallet's family on vacation.
On a Dutch vacation with a windmill and a rainbow. Still very confused. I don't know if that was something that they put as like an Easter egg for whoever got stuck with the wallet, or if that was just something that like a Temu vendor put in there.
I still don't know.
I don't know. I don't want to know.
Right.
But the fact that the inside was a photo of wallets on vacation was surreal.
I think we wound up with a remote controlled rat, a stuffed rat, duct taped to a remote control car.
A Lamborghini, I believe.
Yeah, the Aventador, yeah. And then a softball. I can't remember what the softball was about in the sketch, but just so much going on. It was really good time. If you see them coming up here, St. Louis folks, you got to see it. You got to see it.
Well, I hate to damper you.
No.
But Stryker asked me if the Arts of Sale would do it right up. You know, my life's a fucking dumpster fire.
Right.
Took me forever to get back to him. I'm like, well, the show's sold out at this point. When you guys have like a next show, I could use that as a jumping off point because I'm going to be there for the next thing. And he's like, well, it might be another 2 or 3 years because it took us 2-3 years to do this one. And I'm like, well, I hope that's not the case, but I could see it happening because Stryker, he's doing movies.
True.
Jeremy's got his career, and Amy and John have their things going on. When they first started Fatal Bus Accident, Stryker wasn't even 21. He was a little baby boy, little skinny, hairless baby boy, nubile.
I don't know why, but describing Stryker as nubile made me feel kind of uncomfortable. I don't know
it's
why.
Not a great word. It's not a great word. I'm not into it.
I don't know about that one.
I don't know. But I just laughed so hard. Em had a good time. I didn't know how she was going to take it, but she was fucking losing her shit. Like, the drive home the whole entire time, she's like, that was insane, and then this. And I'm like, yeah. And, like, that was, like, a pretty good Fatal Bus Accident. I'm not even sure if that cracks the top 10 of what I saw. So imagine, like, when they're really in the rhythm. Because, again, they hadn't done it for a minute. They all got their lives and stuff. Like, completely understandable circumstances. Shit's so good. It's so fucking funny.
And they're all good together. I think that a lot of it boils down to the fact that...
God, there was an episode where someone had gotten, like, struck through time. The show broke up. It was replaced by, like, a bad variety, like a very, like, 1950s kind of, like, Playboy Bunny kind of editorial type program called Ha Ha, That's a Good Comedy Laugh. And in this alternative future... Amy and Jeremy were amateur gonzo pornographers. Stryker was a guy that ate a knife on TV or something along those lines. And John was a guy that lived in a shed behind a Papa John's and was getting bullied by all the teenagers that delivered pizzas. I remember Ella Fritz street person, amazing bit, an incredibly funny woman. God, she did some crazy ass shit. My first comedy crush in St. Louis, if you could believe it.
I can believe it. I think she was one of mine, too.
Yeah, just like a really incredibly funny person. Is.
Her and Tina Debo, actually.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Like, I had a friend like that was trying to convince me to, like, talk to Tina and be like, you should date her. And I'm like, nah.
Having listened to Slop City a bunch of times, I'm glad you didn't. Because everyone would know everything about your dick and everything. And it'd just
at this point, it's, you know what? It's a promise to some and a threat to others.
Fair enough.
You know, it's like the time that, like, I came out from the demo at the Y show and didn't realize that someone wrote, I ate out your mom in white shoe polish on the side of my car. And didn't find out till the next morning until someone woke me up very angrily. What's that shit on your car? And I'm like, huh? What? The charter guy his truck stalled. They were helping a neighbor across the street. He's like, "Can you jump my car?" I'm like, "Yeah, but you gotta promise not to say any weird shit about what's written on it." And he's like, "Huh, what?"
What?
And he's like, "What's up with that?" And I go, "It's a threat to some and a promise to others."
Oh.
And he goes, "Okay, will you jump my car?" I go, "Yeah." And he's like, "All right, I gotta ask, what really is going on there?" He's like, "Dude, someone was writing shit on people's cars in the Grove last night, and it's on my passenger side. I approached my car from the driver's side, didn't see it. I guess I got tagged, and I didn't take it off my car for like 2 days." So I'm like driving down the highway. I went on a first date with someone.
Yeah.
First date with someone with "I ate out your mom" on the side of my car. People were honking on the highway.
Hell yeah.
And like there was like, I remember one time a car, it was like an SUV full of teens, and they're doing like the whole like blow your horn thing like you do for truck drivers. I don't know what I'm just like, yeah, she doesn't know what to think of it.
Right.
Like we're at stop signs and people are like rolling down their windows going like, "Yeah, dude." I remember being like at a stop sign, like a woman that was like getting her mail or getting something, like watering her lawn, saw my car and started screaming at me at the top of her lungs.
Oh,
like,
God.
"There's children that live around here." And I'm like, "So?
Yeah.
What? Like, you know what? Like,
If they could read, they'd be very upset, but they
yeah. You thought I did. Why would I do this to my own car?" But Ella had a bit where she was being interviewed by the usurpers from AHA, that's a commie laugh, as Ava Braun.
Oh, Lord.
And talking about Dolphy. And holy shit, can't even remember the punchlines. But I told her later, it was like history came to life. And
Okay.
I think I made her day.
Okay. That's fantastic.
It was really fucking, she played it so fucking straight. And yet was probably one of the funniest bits, the hardest I've ever laughed in my life.
Wow.
Haha, that's a good comedy laugh. A thing that was only seen by maybe 50 people.
Yeah, well, hopefully this one that we just went to will get seen by more because I know they were recording it.
Mm-hmm. Well, they recorded the other ones too. I just don't know. I asked Stryker once, but
Yeah, where are they?
Yeah, because I would love to rewatch Haha, that's a good comedy laugh. Because absurd premise after absurd premise. The portmanteau, the nighttime begoozler.
There's so many.
The nighttime begoozler, which would trap you at night and make you do things against your will. And one of the things was making a local comedian who's also a lawyer do reps in the middle of the night in a really dank basement on a bench press. And he's like spotting him. And I can't remember the comedian's name. He's a really funny guy. But, you know, he's like struggling. He's at failure. And the nighttime begoozler is like, "Fucking do it." And it's just like a guy in like a white, like, you remember like the Green Man suit?
Yeah.
But it's like a white man suit.
Okay.
But made to also look kind of weird and scary. Like maybe there was like fake hair on it or something.
Okay. Another thing that we both were enjoying, I don't know if you saw the finale, but Common Side Effects.
I did see the finale. It didn't feel like a finale.
But an interesting formal experiment in doing a bit of a mix of drama and comedy and also kind of an action show.
A really striking art style.
Mm-hmm.
Really expressive.
It definitely takes an episode for you to kind of get into the groove if you're used to animated shows being kind of gagathons. You know what I mean? Like if you're expecting something along the lines of a Solar Opposites or whatever, and you're tuning into this, you're like, whoa, this is kind of heavy. What the fuck? It does start with a diarrhea joke, so I do appreciate that.
Yeah.
Mike Judge coming in hot with a diarrhea joke at the opening. There's some levity. There's some silly moments, but for the most part, yeah, it's a pretty straightforward, dramatic story about a pharmaceutical company trying to kill this guy who's discovered a mushroom that can bring you back from the dead. The Blue Angel mushroom, that's right. And but everyone's after him. It's a paranoid thriller. It's got these really weird but real kind of characters. Because even the DEA agents, Capano and Harrington, they start out as literally a joke. You know, who you got on this? Capano and Harrington. Are they good? And then it cuts to them. Like one of them's ordering a hot dog.
They're both like dancing. It's so fucking funny.
And then for an extended, like for like half of the song, it's Jump in the Line, the Harry Belafonte song. And for like half the song, it's just like showing you this scene of these two being goofy. And then it cuts back. Oh yeah, they're fine. Like, you think like, okay, that that joke has served its purpose, and then it comes back and hits you with the punchline. The timing's all off kilter, but it all works. It's
got a very interesting rhythm and language. It has this interesting way of showing these characters, both in ways that are very dramatic and they're also very humorous, but also giving them a gray area in which they exist, where you can't say like, oh, this is a character you're supposed to hate or a character you're supposed to default like.
right.
Because there are many characters that you feel unsympathetic towards, or you're kind of, you feel like you're supposed to dislike, but then you also find moments where it's, okay, they're not a complete shithead, or they're not a complete asshole.
Yeah, I'm thinking specifically of the Mike Judge voiced character Rick.
Yeah, the CEO.
Yeah, who starts out as a real pompous jackass, but then as you get deeper into the story, he has a couple of these quiet, dark moments, and you're like, oh, he's a real ass dude.
Yeah, and it's almost kind of like maybe the late capitalism makes us all like schizophrenic, antisocial weirdos. Not necessarily giving sympathy to CEOs and the elite, but it hurts everyone. You would hope that Jeff Bezos has had moments where he realizes he has sacrificed parts of his humanity and his purchase in the human experience for his money and his bullshit.
You would hope. And even the Kissinger-like character, it's all I could think of. All I could think of when I saw that guy. Yeah, the wolf. I just could think of Kissinger. Maybe it's the voice. I don't know. But even he has moments where you're like, okay, he's a desperate man. You know, there is some humanity there buried beneath all this other shit.
It's almost like everything comes back to is like capitalism is the thing that makes us so abrasive and exploitative of each other.
Which is nice to see on a show that's airing on fucking HBO Max.
Yeah, well, I think technically Adult Swim, but
right.
But we're watching on Max. Yeah,
I mean, there's whole episodes where it's like a spy thriller.
Yeah,
and then it snaps back with like, here's some guy's cousin at the fish store.
Yeah,
being weird. There's just so much there. I think Mike Judge does like 5 voices in the show, if not more.
Really?
Oh yeah. If you're really listening, when there's that detour where he goes to North Carolina, I think, or so there's that in that detour. There's like 3 or 4 background characters, minor characters, and a lot of them are Mike Judge. And there's a couple other ones where you're like, is that Mike Judge, or is it somebody who sounds like Mike Judge? He executive produced, so you know he gets to have a little fun. And since he's not writing it, it's probably just like, what do you guys want me to do? Okay.
Yeah, I mean he's a very workman kind of guy. I think in everything he's done, he's really just like, what can I do to make this better?
The one name that I was really surprised to see as a producer was Greg Daniels. If you know who that is, it's one of the 2 guys who created the U.S. version of The Office.
Yeah,
and Parks and Recreation and Upload and Good Place. Like he's had some comedy hits under his belt, but nothing nearly as intense dramatically as this. And so I was like, oh, okay, he can do this, huh?
I wish the finale had a little bit more resolution. Everything's so open-ended. I think it presents some really interesting imagery, and all these characters are in very interesting moments, like with conflict. But there's not enough resolution for me to say that it's a classic finale.
No.
I don't think it's a bad episode. I don't think it's bad TV.
Okay.
But I don't feel like it closes the loop on that story.
I wonder if it's the detour where they both go to Joshua Tree. I think that definitely feels like the beginning of season 2 type stuff.
Yes.
So, yeah, I can see where you're going with that. But I still felt like it was... I don't know. I feel like it's going places.
I'm very much so looking forward to season 2. Absolutely.
Yes, I'm clapping like a seal. I am ready for it. I'm here.
Well, she got big dog.
A couple of books. I'll run through these real quick because they're not a lot to go into without getting into spoiler territory. But the third in a series of books about a small town of Proof Rock, inhabited by horror-loving Blackfoot Indian young woman named Jade Daniels. The book's called Angel of Indian Lake. It is, as I said, the third in the series. So the other ones were My Heart is a Chainsaw, Don't Fear the Reaper, and Angel of Indian Lake. Those are the 3 in the Indian Lake trilogy that Stephen Graham Jones, himself a Native American, who is writing some amazing fiction. He just put out a great book called The Buffalo Hunter Hunter. 50 pages into that, but I'm super enjoying it. So I'm loving his work lately. It's about a small town that's been gentrified, and all these people kind of upset the natural order of things, and so major tragedies continue to happen in this town, slasher movie style, and the only one that happens to have survived all of these books is Jay Daniels, the one person in town obsessed with slasher movies. And so it's the third in that series. The third book picks up where the other ones left off, where she's a teacher now. She's actually, gone beyond her teen years, which is where the series started. Jay Daniels as a character, probably one of the best in horror right now. Excellent writing. I love Stephen Graham Jones. I will read anything he's written. Even his worst stuff is still pretty damn good. I Was a Teenage Slasher was just okay. The Only Good Indians, great. I'm excited to finish the Buffalo Hunter. And then the other one that I read, just finished it today, a guy named John Wall's book called Gone to the Wolves. And it's a book about metal in Florida in the 1980s. John Ray, excuse me.
Oh, hell yeah.
So it takes place in Central Florida in the 1980s, and it's kind of a coming-of-age story, but it's also about metal through the years. Central Florida in the 1980s, this kid, comes to town because, his dad's in jail, and his mom passed away, so he's living with his grandma, and he meets these eccentric characters in the metal scene, and the three of them go off to California just as glam hits sunset. All that nasty stuff happens. There's frequent visits to the Rainbow and all these things that were like cultural touchstones in metal. And then the book ends in kind of a thriller taking place in Norway, the home of black metal. So it's interesting. It's got cults, it's got racism, it's got all the fun stuff that makes metal an interesting genre, and it's really written by a guy who name drops a lot of stuff because he's kind of been there. This guy John Ray apparently has the bona fides. He knows all this stuff about interscene genre shit going on. Really fun to read. It's a coming of age story, but it's also a murder mystery. Kidnapping
like
plot.
that. I like that idea. I've heard the name before, and Central Florida, like heavy metal, is definitely something ripe for workings on. It's definitely something viable. So yeah, you said that's some good shit.
Oh yeah, so fun.
Hell yeah.
And apparently the guy who wrote it is actually John Henderson, apparently a contributor to New York Times Magazine. He's also in the Brooklyn band Marmalade. I don't know if that means anything to anybody, but here you go. Yeah, from 2023. This was a book that kind of slipped through the cracks, but I definitely would recommend it to anybody who is even tangentially interested in that sort of thing. Because, boy, reading about LA in the 90s was also interesting. Yeah, to how really druggy the scene was and stuff.
Having known a few guys that were in LA in the music scene, like in the metal scene in like the late 80s and early 90s. It's like insane little stories. Just like, yeah, and LA riots happened. Like, so I just like went to the corner store, got like a 12-pack, went on the roof of my apartment building and just kind of like watched the shit on the horizon.
They arrive in LA in like 95, so they missed the riots. And so this is that kind of time period where Guns N' Roses had come and gone, Warrant and Rat had come and gone. And now we're in this in-between zone where you've got the thrash people coming up against the glam people, and there being some weird gay bashing going on there. And yeah,
of course, yeah.
A lot of heroin, a lot of AIDS, a lot of that not so glamorous stuff, which is, I think, to his credit. I think John Ray in this book definitely is warts and all on both, well, and the Norwegian scene too, all burning churches and ritualistic burning and people carving runes into themselves and killing their bass player and eating him, that kind of stuff. It's all in there.
Real page turner.
It was. I finished it today, and it started it like a week ago, which is pretty good for me. How about you, Big Dog? What do you got?
Lots of music going on. In particular, I can start off by talking about indie sleaze throwback known as The Faint. Hadn't thought about The Faint for a long time, but like a lot of bands, I think they have a record that's turning 20 or 25 years old.
Yeah, Blank Wave Arcade.
Yeah. It was a super fun show. It took me back to a simpler time when you could go to a bar that really wasn't that cool, but they had dollar PBRs, and then some guy with a Coke problem would take a photo of you with that PBR, and then it would be posted on a website, and then you would save it from that website and put it on your MySpace.
Hell yeah.
Real simple time. Super fun. It didn't really feel like a nostalgia act, which is what felt nice. There was a lot of little things like some synth stuff and certain guitar tones. And I'm like, man, like, we really don't do that anymore. I think it's probably time to go back to that well. Like, you could probably take some inspiration from that and make some more cool shit. I feel like the real star of the evening was Plaque Bleg, is an industrial act also from Omaha, fronted by a guy named Roz. Plague Black is a guy that dresses up like a Tom of Finland leather daddy, basically, like an 80s Tom of Finland leather daddy, and sings some really hot songs about being a gay dude fucking and sucking. And it's pretty fucking awesome. It's so fucking fun. The music's so catchy. And he kind of sounds like a young Trent Reznor.
Okay.
Like very much pre-Hate Machine era Trent Reznor.
Sure.
Just a great fucking vibe. And his guy that's doing like the synth work and all that stuff is a guy, he calls him Butch Dick, who is a really great erotic kink artist as well.
Okay.
Super fucking fun set. Have been wanting to see Plaque Bleg for a long, long time because local promoter Midwest Mel Punks, aka Tay, she brings him through St. Louis like 2 or 3 times a year. And it was always instances of like either I couldn't make it happen or I would like remember that was happening a day or two after and being late. Like, oh, I was like sitting at home doing nothing.
Yeah.
I'm really glad I finally got to catch that act. It was super fucking fun. Security guards were very uncomfortable because at one point he takes off his leather short shorts and he's just wearing a black jock strap and talking about man on man love, and it's very gay. It's very fun. It's a good time. The crowd loved it. And also, it also reminded me of the good old days when a band got a little bit of fucking shine, got to have a tour with like a real budget behind it, real label support, and they take their friend from home on tour with them that did some weird shit.
That definitely does not happen as much as it used to, for sure.
And we're all worse for it.
Now I got to check this out. This was all new to me. I didn't know anything about this.
Fucking amazing. That was Saturday. Tuesday was Laura Jane Grace, which was great. She was kicking off her tour in support of her new record, Laura Jane Grace and Trauma Tropes, which is coming out in a couple months, I think in July.
Rodeo Boys opened that one, didn't they?
Rodeo Boys and the fantastic Aussie lass Alex Leahy. Sold out show, really great crowd, super diverse, seeing all kinds of guys and gals, non-binary pals and everything in between. Just a really great energy in that room. Rodeo Boys were fantastic, just really good. Heavy indie pop is like, I guess, like the way to call it.
Yeah, I saw them open for Smoking Popes not too long ago, so
yeah,
fantastic. Love to see them. They're really fun.
And Alex Leahy, in a similar vein, her tour lead guitar player, I forget his name, but he was just fucking just riffing the whole entire, like fucking like he was Prince, like just like, you know, Alex, she's such a great guitar player and she's got a great drummer and a great bass player, but this guy that she has playing lead for her just had too many good foes at him, kind of thing. We're like, man, he's just the tour guy. He's the guy that's on tour.
Right, he's a ringer.
He's a ringer, and he's crushing it. And like, obviously, everyone's like in the band is really stoked that this guy is playing with them,
right,
and having a great time about it. But like, he's not really the focus,
not the star of the show.
Go on her Instagram. She's got some songs by them. They help trans people.
Absolutely.
And she's already raised, I think the last time she was talking about it, raised like over $1,000, and it's been less than a week. So that's pretty awesome. So she's great. And my first time photographing Laura Jane Grace. And what a great show was Shit Light.
Oh, no.
Had Laura Jane Grace not reposted a photo that I posted on Instagram, would have been the worst performing things I ever posted on there, bar none.
Just because it just didn't look good, or
it's just Shit Light. But I did not realize, because I was, my date and I, having a couple beers, having fun, didn't realize that the light was about a half stop to a stop darker than it was for Laura Jane Grace than it was the other two acts. So I got a lot of photos that I just like, everything's in fucking shadow. There's no highlights really.
Yeah.
So I just had to do everything in a real fucking high contrast black and white style, which does not play well on Instagram. And people on Instagram don't like that. I'm like, wow, oh, cool. I just really just like shot a load into a fan and blew it right back in my face here. Cool. Laura Jane Grace reposted it and ended up getting like 5,000 views.
Nice.
So, yeah, normally I get like a tenth of that. So I'll take it. But what a great performance. What an amazing voice.
Oh, yes.
She really knows her crowd and didn't do a lot of political talk in between songs because we're all fucking adults. We all know why we're here.
Exactly right. Yes. If you're in the South, maybe in MAGA territory, maybe you'd have to do a little more preaching.
I mean, we're in fucking Missouri. It's still MAGA territory.
I know.
I just think about all the small business tyrants I've worked for in the last like 3 or 4 years who are now going to get absolutely fucked over by Trump's policies. And they were all like, Sleepy Joe is fucking everything up, you know, all legals and stuff. And it's like, I don't know about that, dude.
Yeah, it turns out the country actually was run on wokeness. It's weird, huh?
And America runs on woken. Regardless of the photography situation.
Hell of a show.
Hell of a show. So much fucking fun. Just an amazing performance. I would say Lord Jane Grace is probably up there with Jay Retard as far as being able to write a 2-minute song that is somehow just so thick in its concept, its ideas, and melodies. And it's 2 fucking minutes. There's Dream Theater songs that are 20 minutes long that don't fucking make my dick move an inch. Conceptually, you did everything you needed to do. There's no fat on this.
Get in, get out.
Everything's tasty. And, I took time to revisit her catalogs. I hadn't done that for a while. And I was like, there's so many fucking bangers on here. Punk Rock in Basements.
Yes.
That's the one she didn't play.
Did she play like Shapeshift with Me or?
I believe so. Trans Soul Rebel.
Trans Soul Rebel. Yeah, that's the one I was also thinking of. I hear that song, and by the time we get to the chorus of "Who's Gonna Take You Home Tonight," I'm a little misty. You know what I mean?
I mean, the fucking room was going for that. What was that song? Spiritual Possession?
Yep.
Oh, and I thought that was when the crowd, this is an older crowd. But I thought like, oh, this is when they're going to go a little feral.
Yeah.
And they just sing along. I'm telling my date, like, hey, this might be the one where they get a little rowdy. Because that's like the fucking, I would say probably the song of hers right now, besides God's Dick or Your God, God's Dick.
Yeah.
Which also got a great reaction. But I'm like, this is like the fucking push to the front and sing along to every word song, I would say. It's one of those things where I'm like revisiting her work and like kind of really sitting with it a little bit deeper than I have in the past, being like, has she toured with HHJ? Because there's like a little bit of Sean in this.
Right? Because even I Was a Teenage Anarchist does feel like almost in that same vein.
Of just like this really buying, like there's no misunderstanding what the narrator here is saying or feeling.
Yeah, but it's also very relatable because yes, every in the bleeding heart of every teenage
rebel
is
class,
is this kind of
nonconformist
venom too. Yeah,
it's fucking anger.
Yeah,
that's not being addressed or being answered by anything the society has to offer. It's either start a rock band or fucking start drinking turpentine.
Or sometimes both.
That was a fantastic show. The next night was Meshuggah, another sold out show. I'm on. I'm fucking putting in the work, man.
Yeah, man.
First time seeing Meshuggah. Not my kind of thing necessarily, not my type of metal. But as far as musicianship and the production, amazing light show. Amazing production value. They sounded fucking great. 8-string guitars, chugging along. And the thing about Meshuggah that always cracks me up is the vocalist, whose name escapes me at this time, has this great guttural growl. And then, because, they're all Swedish, he talks like he's a guy who's trying to sell you, like, fucking futures in Grey Poupon. He sounds like a really cool butler.
I can't say I've ever heard him speak.
He's got a great accent. Great speak. I mean, they're Swedish musicians, so why wouldn't they be excellent?
Of course, yeah. Nothing to do out there but practice.
And the government pays you money.
Yeah.
To be a musician, basically.
Isn't that nice?
Killer records. A little bit more double kick drum than I, in my taste for extreme metal, but fucking minute per minute, mind blowing. I took M and she didn't know anything about Meshuggah or any of the bands on the bill, and she had a hell of a time. She was like, that was fucking mind-blowing. Because also on the bill was legendary OG extreme metal act Carcass.
Oh.
which was a fucking treat. See Bill Steer fucking riffing?
Yeah. God
damn, man. So fucking cool. And then I found out that the bass player, the main vocalist, whose name escapes me, please don't look it up. But find out that he was like a fucking real shit starter when he was a kid. Like a real fucking punk. Like he would like disrupt, because they're British. He would disrupt like fucking fox hunts and shit. Like, I think he's been like a vegetarian for most of his adult life. Like, just like, what a cool guy.
Yeah.
And I think it's the first time Carcass has played St. Louis in a million years. And you saw like all of these metalheads, young and old, sold out show, by the way. It was an interesting show because I'm so used to shows where the people there at the barricade for the first act are the people there at the barricade for the headliner.
Mm-hmm.
And it was like it switched out. I mean, there was a couple people that stayed up front, but it was like people that wanted to get up front specifically for Carcass.
Right.
People that wanted to get up front specifically for Meshuggah. And people that wanted to get up specifically for Cannibal Corpse.
Oh, the corpse was there.
Yeah.
Well, they're name dropped in that Gone to the Wolves book multiple times.
Hell yeah. Carcass was just fucking like old school, heavy metal, like 80s vibes, like pre-glam.
Yeah, yeah.
Just so fun. And to watch a dude like fucking play fucking Randy Rhoads ass shit on a fucking guitar that has a neck that, last time I played the Melody Maker from the 50s and 60s, the neck felt like the wrong end of a baseball bat. So it's not a fast neck. And just absolutely just fucking killing it. And the other guitar player, a younger guy, also crushing it. Cannibal Corpse might have been the highlight.
Yeah.
Because it was just goofy.
Yeah.
Like at this point...
The corpse is a little silly. I mean...
Yeah. But I mean, there was a band also that were like scaring the shit out of parents, 20 some odd 30 years ago.
Yeah.
But now it's just like, well, it's out that Corpse Grinder is like a nice dude and he is like a savant when it comes to like claw machines. So he empties out claw machines when he's bored on tour and donates the stuffed animals to charity and shit. Like,
right. But they also have the song I Come Blood. So,
yeah.
Like...
And I'm looking at their set list and I'm like, oh yeah, I forgot they got the I Come Blood song. And it was like the last third of their set. This song's about shooting blood out your dick. This song is called, and he pauses, and all of a sudden, him and the whole entire, I Come Blood. And I'm looking at Mel, and I'm like, yeah, I brought you to the I Come Blood show.
Well, on the same album, there is entrails ripped from a virgin's cunt. So, it's
Yeah,
not the worst song they could play.
But the thing that also cracked me, again, amazing musicianship on stage. Just some amazing thrash metal guitar work. And one guitar player is just like stoic. Mm-hmm. Just looks like the coolest uncle biker in the world. Playing leads, riffing, motionless face, like Wada from Boris. And the other guitar player is like fucking frizzy hair, spinning his head around, sticking his tongue out, making faces. And I'm like, what a fucking vibe, man. Like, this is the band from fucking Ace Ventura.
Yeah. I know. Like, all right, man.
Dude, it was so fucking fun. I ran the Burt. And I was like, dude. And he's like, what? Everything good? I'm like, dude, this is just so fucking fun. He's like, yeah, man, it's real fucking cool to do like real metal sometimes.
Yeah, dude.
Instead of like metalcore and like more modern stuff, just have like old school shit.
Oh.
I mean, Meshuggah's been around since the 80s.
Right.
But like, they still feel like a modern band.
Yeah, because I think one of their bigger hits was like early 2000s.
They definitely had like a second or third win to them 15 years ago.
Whereas, aside from the real hardcore metalheads, no one's thought about Cannibal Corpse in a while.
But I mean, the crowd was fucking there
commercially or whatever.
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah, they've kind of fallen off, as it were. But I don't think that's true. They're all talented musicians who own the fuck out of every room they're in. So it's
it was an absolute. I mean, am I going to pass up a chance to see Cannibal Corpse in the future? Hell, fucking no. I'm a fan. I mean, not listen to it while I'm washing dishes, but like, I'll fucking go see them live.
Oh, I can just see it now, just queuing up I Come Blood while you're.
Oh, it was so fucking fun, man. And like, being in the faux pit, and he's coming out, his hair is drenched.
Oh, and
he's
does
fucking
the whip
spin his hair around. And I'm texting Bert. I told him I'm gonna have to say that Mr. Corpse Grinder is a herbal essence man from the way the faux pit's smelling right now.
That's what you were saying. Yeah, I don't doubt it. You gotta take care of it, man.
Fucking crazy, man. And Thursday night, boy, I'm all over and this week's no different.
Yeah,
we got Subhumans, got Chiodos, got Soul Coughing.
But yeah, you're out every night this week.
Sunday's Remy Wolf sold out. Thursday night, me and Em drove out to a little college town that's worth visiting. I'd say outside of seeing live music. Urbana, Illinois. And we went to a little place called the Canopy Club, which I had never heard of. I asked Bert about it. He's like, it's a fucking weird room. And he was like telling me about like, you know, the fucking dressing rooms are in the basement and you have to go outside to go from the dressing room to the stage and all that. And I'm like, oh, okay, that is a little weird. But it's basically like your classic. It's weird in the good way that all awesome college town venues are, where it's like, oh, this was a theater, a live theater, or a movie theater that's been repurposed now as a concert venue. You know, I think of the Granada in Lawrence. I think of the Blue Note in Columbia. Right. And this is very much a similar setup. I had a great time. We went there to see one of God's favorite bands, Mannequin Pussy, playing a sold-out show. So 3 sold-out shows in a row. It's one of those things where you kind of realize like how keyed up and abnormal things are in St. Louis when you go to other towns and people are like, you can chill the fuck out, dude. And you're like, no, this is how I have to act to like get through the room back home in St. Louis. And they're like, what the fuck's on with the music scene there?
Do you how much time do you have?
Got?
Yeah.
I'm thinking I'm going to rooster chest with a couple people. And they're like, no, it's all good. I'm like, oh, okay.
Oh.
Tight. Tits.
Hell yeah.
Sweet titties.
Let's go.
Opener for that show was Eco Astral. EKKO Astral, like astral plane. Which is a noise punk band. They call themselves Mascara Mosh Pit Music. From DC. The principal member, the bass player, whose name escapes me at this moment, she was a writer on Capitol Hill for like some indie journalism outfit.
Okay.
Now is fronting this noise punk band, and at one point was getting this crowd of young impressionable college kids to chant "fuck Elon Musk" with her.
Hell yeah.
Which was great. Super fun. Loved their set. Super fucking noisy. And like the very early aughts, like anti-corporate, no logo kind of tip, which I think is a vibe that needs to be revisited. Some of that anger.
Looking at their Wikipedia page, the group's first release as a quintet was the live EP, The Quartz Farewell, recorded at Comet Ping Pong.
Fucking, that's DC as fuck.
Yeah.
You know, yes, they're another really great and interesting, you know, femme-fronted punk band from DC that has politics front and center in their music.
Right, so it's not that surprising, but it's still like, oh, okay.
It was fun. It was super fucking good. Loved it. Mannequin Pussy, probably my favorite show of last year. An amazing experience. Just a band that is singular in what they're doing, it feels like right now.
Yeah.
There are definitely hardcore and hardcore adjacent bands that are doing things that might be in similar territory right now. You've got your Scowls and your Turnstiles and your Gouge Aways and all that. But they're kind of on the king of the hill right now, I think. To watch them just absolutely crush it, make no wrong move, just everything's just like a perfect set. Why wouldn't I want to take another bite at that apple? I had an opportunity. So we drove 2.5 hours out. I'd say it was absolutely worth the drive. And the drive from Urbana back to St. Louis in the middle of the night is one of the most miserable things I've had to do. And I'm sorry to say I've done it more than once. But you got to do what you got to do with the cards you're dealt. I would say what was different about this performance compared to St. Louis, a very similar set list, but obviously a much younger crowd. It's a college town. I'd say the St. Louis crowd was a little bit more well-dressed. Not that there weren't some people that were doing their hot boy and hot girl shit in Urbana, but St. Louis, I think, definitely had me going like, damn, I ain't seen someone dressed like that around here for a minute. Not that Urbana were slouches, but like that was another thing I noticed. Good energy from the crowd, really just hanging on every moment of every song. I'm so used to St. Louis to having crowds where people are like talking.
Yeah.
And they're just there to get fucked up and say they were there. Whereas it felt like a lot of these kids were here with a purpose. They were here to buy what they were selling. And there was no mistake about that. And Missy, I wouldn't say was as articulate as she was in St. Louis, but I think she played up to the crowd a little bit better. She said a lot of the same things that she said in St. Louis between songs about capitalism and art and community and things like that, and about the fucking government. Still very powerful. There was something that resonated with M that resonated with me as well. And I'm kind of paraphrasing here, but basically she said, "You aren't shit. People are just making you eat it," which is, if that didn't turn a couple gears in a couple of those kids' heads in that crowd, because it sure fucking turned one in mine. And I've been left a liberal pretty much my whole life, pretty much since a teenager. So if someone's saying a phrase that makes me go, "Oh shit," I've become a little bit more enlightened about how I feel about the world, my politics, and all that through just a simple statement. But there was a tweet that was going around those last week or so that, Marxism is this very complicated, thought out argument that can be summed up to like people should be treated well and be taken care of.
Yeah.
Like you can take these very complicated things and put them into simple statements. That was just fantastic. I got some of the best photos I've taken all year, which was, I didn't think was going to happen, because the second song in, someone just fucking flooded the stage with fucking fog. And I couldn't get any photos of the drummer or the touring guitarist or the bass player. I really just had photos of Missy and the other guitar player, who Maxine. But the security was like, "Yeah, we're letting you guys back in for the encore."
No.
That's never happened. 16 years I've been doing that. I think it's only happened like once. I'm like, okay.
Yeah.
So I looked at their set list and I was like, okay, Pigs is Pigs is the third to last song. And I'm telling the other photographers, Pigs is Pigs is going to be the third to last song. And like, which song is that? I'm like, it's the one where it sounds like they're probably going to say something about how much they fucking hate cops. And then the bass player is going to take vocals while Missy takes bass. And it's going to be like you're at a proper hardcore show for a full song. So when you see that shit going down, make your way back up there. And sure as shit, like he's fucking getting on the barricade, like getting people's it was like, fuck man, where's my Umbros at? I need to go fucking two-step in there.
Let's go.
I'm watching that and the photographers all start filtering back. And one of the songs on the encore was the one that sounds like fucking Thunder Peal by Beck.
Yeah, it's Emotional High.
The set list on Setlist FM, they did not play Loud Bark as the second song. But I would say, like, yeah, so, like, okay, I get to photograph them playing what might be my favorite song of theirs. But Control and Okay, I think might be the highlights for me. Like, just seeing those. Like, even in St. Louis, the performance of Okay. We'll just call it Okay.
Yeah.
The performance of Okay in St. Louis was one of my favorite moments of that show, because it was, again, this real fucking heightened moment, and the fucking lyrics, "Oh, you want a slice of heaven, you're going to have to fucking beg." Like, some fucking sharp lyrics on
Some
that
real
song.
shit.
But I still think Loud Bark and I Got Heaven, I have not seen any song released in the last year fucking grab people in a live setting like those two songs. Like, people just really, like, something fucking activates. They go feral. The first time I heard I Got Heaven, the record, I mean, the fucking starts off with the title track, and the first lyrics are, "I want to walk around like a dog without a leash. I'm growling at the strangers and I'm biting at their feet." Like, okay, that's pretty direct. That's pretty energetic. What's this fucking record about?
Yeah, gets you right in there.
Yeah, and well, it's about being horny and angry at the same time, basically.
Horngry, yeah. Not a really good place to stick around. Fun place to visit.
Fantastic. I'm glad that they're, fuck man, what are they going to do next, kind of thing. Like,
Right.
How do you top this record? How do you top this moment they've had?
Hard to.
It's frightening to think, fuck man, I've seen a lot of live music. It's been crazy. Probably one of the best Aprils for music in the area in a while. Sorry to elongate the breath mint here.
No, I think a lot of people like to hear what you have to say about music and shows and things. I mean, it's just your level of expertise. I show my level of expertise in other parts of the show, and you show yours at this part. So I think it's fine.
I mean, I guess that's why I'm trying to work on a YouTube channel where I fucking run my mouth about this shit.
You're darn right. As well you should.
Thank you. But that's, I think, all I've got.
Excellent.
You want to play us out, sir?
Let's tell people where to find us online first. Brian, where can they find you and some of your beautiful photograms and daguerreotypes?
Oh, yes. If you want to check out my stuff, you want to check out my photography portfolio, you can head over to assholemusicphotographer.com. If you want to check out the last and only good media website in St. Louis, you head over to artsstl.com. Some good stuff from Laura Gerald from the Bryan show a couple weeks ago. Someone covered a hockey game.
Oh, nice.
Yeah. Hey, man, you know what? Like, that wasn't NHL. I think it was like AAA or whatever the equivalent is. But still, some good writing, some great photos. Fucking go Blues, man. Fucking 12 games in a row.
Yeah. Hey.
Fucking crazy. Yeah, if you want to follow me on social media, you can find me at iShockEDBOR, ISHOTGUIDBORD over on Twitter and Blue Sky, and on Instagram, I am a music photographer. Jason.
Yes.
Where can they find you?
You can find me a number of places. Chances are, if there's a video crime out there, that's me. That's VIDEOCRIME. I didn't mean that to rhyme, but I like it. You can find me as part of a show that's not this one. It's called Submitted for the Approval of the Midnight Pals. And we're doing some more interesting episodes for Season 2. I'm so hyped for the next ones, but especially the musical episode. That is midnight-pals.simplecast.com or anywhere podcasts are sold on the show. I play Stephen King. If you want to get a hold of this show, you can do so in a number of ways. My personal favorite is the telephone. That's 314-246-9766. Or if you like to spell with your telephone, well, you just pop in there and do 314 AHOY POO. You can also shoot us an email, Jason at 8 minutesofdogsbarking.com, or Bryan with a Y at 8 minutesofdogsbarking.com. Support the show on Patreon, patreon.com/48minutesofdogs. There you will find our weekly post-show hangout that we like to call Thanks I Hate It, the occasional freak out that we call the Mind Zone. And if you get in at the $10 level, you get to decide what the punishment tier is. That's right. We let our patrons, decide how they're going to have us have a bad time once a year. And so if you get in at the $10 level before the end of the year, you get to help decide what that is. Last year, we did a 90-minute commentary track on a Japanese puke fetish video called Garo Monster Home Delivery. So if you sign up now at that level, you get access to that. Plus, you get to tell us what to do this year. I'm still mulling over just what we could do. I'm thinking about the 64-ounce Modelo chug. What's up, chuggers? And and things like that. But if you've got ideas, by all means, let us know. I guess that means that this show is over. As we always say at this time, namaste. Good luck. Give mommy a good gut fucking. 25th Amendment now. Who ate all the pussy? Eat the knife. Yeah, that's it. All right. Have a good night.